Hi, welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, over the last week or so, the Catholic cycle of daily gospel readings has really focused in on the call of Christ to us, his followers, to actually take up our cross and follow him, which is actually a truly brutal and barbaric call when you stop and think about it. For us today, for those of us moderns who live in the modern world, it doesn't really have the same weight or significance, because when we think about a cross, we think about perhaps an item of jewelry, or we think about perhaps something that's made of wood that might hang in a church, or it might be an ornament somewhere. But for those first century Jewish listeners, when he told them that they had to take up their cross, that really was quite a barbaric and bold statement, because the only reason that they knew of and had a cross in their era was because the cross was this brutal and horrific instrument of torturous death. And it was a death that had been perfected by the Romans, who occupied the Jewish lands, which was considered a truly horrific thing. And they had perfected this brutal form of execution where people were either tied or nailed to a cross somewhere public, naked, and then they would slowly suffocate themselves. And if the process didn't go fast enough and the Romans wanted to speed it up, they would come along and break your legs, and that way you would die even quicker. But it was a truly brutal and horrific death. And here is Jesus saying, if you want to follow me, you've got to pick up your cross and follow me. And they would have known that the only reason you pick up a cross is because you are going to be taken somewhere public and you are going to die on that cross. So that call of Christ is a call to self-giving. It is a call to suffering. It is a call to walk the narrow road, as he says at another point in the Gospels. It is not a call to comfortability, and it is not a call to build utopia. In fact, it is very clear that Christ did not call us to come and establish some sort of heavenly kingdom here on earth. Yes, we are called to be the kingdom of heaven and to live that out in our lives in the way we treat others and the way we love and care for others, but we are not actually meant to build an actual kingdom here for ourselves. We are not called to utopia. We are not utopia builders. And there's something very, very important about this, I think particularly for the church in the West, that we need to rediscover. For two reasons. Obviously, when you build utopias, dangerous things happen. Every time a government or an organisation or a group has tried to build a utopia of some sort, without fail, it has resulted in truly vile and horrific things that have followed on for those who are deemed unfit, unworthy, unclean, who need to be punished, who need to be remediated, who need to be rectified out of this perfect kingdom that someone is trying to build. The other reason, I think, which is even more pressing, is the fact that without the cross, without suffering, without those challenges and obstacles in our life that Christ calls us to, we can never truly grow in character, especially if we don't embrace that cross. If we run from it, if we try and take an easy way out, if we look for comfort and pleasure and nothing more, we don't grow as persons. We don't get to experience the difficult, suffering and arduous journey that allows us to rise above and, with the grace of Christ, become truly heroic in virtue, become truly heroic in self-giving, to become truly heroic in love. So remember, Christ doesn't come to give us a comfortable utopia. He comes to call us to a cross and to a very hard and narrow path that we have to drag that cross along. Yes, there'll be moments of joy, but it's not pleasure or comfort that we are seeking. It is Christ, and it is through the cross that we find him. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.